My child, you didn't expect life to feel this heavy. No one really does. There are seasons that arrive uninvited, seasons where nothing makes sense, and even the things you once counted on seem to slip through your fingers like dust. You try to hold on to faith, to strength, to something familiar, but there are days it all feels like too much. The weight of unanswered prayers, broken relationships, sudden loss, or the slow ache of waiting has worn you thin. And in that place, you begin to wonder if you have been forgotten, if blessings are only for others, if miracles are just for the stories and not for you. But listen closely now, because in this place, right here where it feels like you have nothing left, I am drawing near, not to fix everything in a moment, but to remind you of something deeper than your pain, something stronger than the storm you're in. My presence, my purpose, and my unshakable love for you. You have not been forgotten. You are not walking alone. And what you feel right now is not the end. It is the middle of a story still unfolding, one that is already soaked in grace. You may not see it yet, but there are blessings forming in places you least expect. They are not always loud or obvious. They do not always come wrapped in joy or certainty. Sometimes, blessings arrive in the form of survival. The fact that you made it through one more day. Sometimes they come as a whisper of peace in the night, a moment of laughter in the middle of your sorrow, or a hand reaching for yours when you thought no one saw your pain. I know you have questions. I know you've wondered why certain prayers seem to fall silent. You've waited, you've hoped, and it hurts to feel like nothing is changing. But child, what if the change has already begun? Not outside, but within you. What if the deeper miracle is the way your heart is learning to endure, the way your spirit is being reshaped by this very season? I never waste pain. I never miss a tear. Every ache you've carried has been seen, and every silent cry has echoed in my heart. I am not distant. I am not indifferent. I am near, and I am working, even now. You're not the only one who has felt this ache. All throughout time, people have come to the edge of their breaking point thinking they were alone, only to find that I had already prepared something beautiful on the other side of their surrender. A door they never noticed, a strength they never imagined, a hope that didn't come from what they could see, but from what they began to believe again, that I'm faithful, even in the dark. You've been told to be strong, to keep going, to push through. And while resilience is good, I also want you to know this. It's okay to rest. It's okay to weep. It's okay to admit that you don't know what to do next, because that's where I meet you most deeply. Not in your perfection, but in your surrender. Not in having all the answers, but in lifting your eyes in search of me. If you could see what I see, the path I'm weaving, the people I'm positioning, the future I'm preparing, you would rest easier. But I know it's hard to trust what you cannot yet see. That's why I speak to your heart now. The blessing is on the way. It may not look like what you expect, but it is coming. The miracle you need may not arrive as thunder and fire. It may arrive as a quiet moment where something inside you finally heals. It may be a conversation, a letter, an unexpected opportunity. Or it may simply be the lifting of that invisible weight you've carried for too long. My timing is not your timing, but my timing is perfect, and I am never late. This is not about pretending that everything is fine. This is about learning that even when everything is not fine, you are still held, still chosen, still part of something divine. You don't have to earn my love. You don't have to prove your worth. You just have to keep breathing, keep listening, and let your soul believe again that I am still the God of the unexpected. When the day feels too hard, remember this. You have already survived things you thought would break you, and there is still so much ahead, so much light, so much joy, So many quiet moments of grace waiting to find you. You will laugh again. You will feel peace again. And not because your life will be perfect, but because you will begin to see the fingerprints of my mercy in places you never thought to look. You are not disqualified from miracles. You are not too far gone. You are not too broken. I specialize in the broken. I bring beauty from ashes. I lift the lowly and restore the weary, and I will do it again. For you. There is something holy about brokenness when it is brought into my presence. I don't ask you to pretend. I ask you to be real with me, to bring your questions, your exhaustion, your hidden disappointment. I can carry it all. I always have. There is no shame in being tired, no weakness in wondering why things haven't changed. Even the strongest souls grow weary. Even the faithful need reminders. So here is mine. I have not stopped writing your story. You were not forgotten in that hospital room. I saw you. You were not invisible when the job was taken from you or when the betrayal shattered your trust. You didn't imagine it. That quiet ache that told you something was still possible. That small light, refusing to go out inside you. That's me. I am not only the God of thunder and parting seas. I am the God who sits with you in waiting rooms, in lonely apartments, in the corners of your fear. I do not need a perfect stage to do something miraculous. I move in the unseen, in the quiet, in the slow. You long for rescue, and I understand that. You ask me to fix what's broken, to return what was lost, to answer what has been left hanging in silence. And yes, I hear you. I always hear you. But my love is deeper than a single solution. I am not just trying to remove your pain. I am trying to redeem it. To take what the enemy meant for harm and use it to strengthen, to restore, to awaken something inside you that this world can't touch. What you call delays are often my design. What you see as detours are sometimes divine direction. You were never meant to walk a straight, predictable path. You were meant to follow me, step by step, breath by breath, and find me in places others would never think to look. Yes, I allow the unexpected, but I also fill the unexpected with purpose. This isn't about blind optimism. This is about spiritual truth. Even now, even here, you are surrounded by grace. I've seen you hold on with trembling hands. I've watched you choose kindness when you felt empty. I've noticed the tears you've wiped away in secret, the prayers you've whispered in the middle of the night. Every one of them matters to me. Not one has been wasted. You think no one understands what you're carrying, but I do. I was there when the weight was placed on your shoulders. I've been with you through every quiet breakdown, every forced smile. Every day you showed up, even when you wanted to disappear. That is strength, child. That is faith in action. And I honor that kind of faith. Blessings are not always what you think. Sometimes they look like open doors, yes, but other times they look like closed ones that spared you from something you couldn't see. Sometimes a blessing is a delayed answer that made room for growth, for healing, for deeper trust. Sometimes it's the person you became while you waited, the courage you found when everything felt out of control, the compassion that bloomed in your heart because you finally understood what it means to need grace. I bless in layers. I work in mystery. But always, always, I work in love. And miracles, you're surrounded by them. But your eyes have been trained to look for the dramatic, the unmissable. Let me show you what miracles really are. A miracle is the way your heart still hopes, even when it hurts. A miracle is how your lungs keep breathing, even when your soul feels tired. A miracle is how someone you didn't expect says exactly what you needed to hear. It's how peace shows up out of nowhere. It's how joy returns after a long night of sorrow. These aren't coincidences. These are traces of me, gentle reminders that I'm still near, still good, still working all things together for your good. You're not weak because you need encouragement. You're human, and I know how fragile that humanity can feel. But don't mistake fragile for broken beyond repair. I made you. I know your limits, your fears, your longings. And I know how to lead you gently back to life. That is what this moment is. A gentle leading. A reminder that you are still seen, still loved, still chosen for more. So today, don't rush past the small gifts. Notice them. The warmth in your hands, the sunlight through your window, the memory that made you smile, the breath in your body. These are not small things. These are signs. My signs. Reminders that even here, especially here, you are surrounded by me. Let that truth sink deep, because the moment you realize I am still with you, that I am still working, is the moment hope finds you again. And when hope finds you, blessings begin to unfold, not always loudly, but always faithfully. I am not done. Not with your story, not with this chapter, not with you. You've looked at your reflection and asked questions that no one else can hear. Why am I still here? What am I supposed to do with all this pain? Will it ever get better? I've heard those questions, every one of them, and I have not turned away from you, not once. When others didn't notice your silent cries, I did. When you wanted to disappear, I drew closer. You may not have felt it, but I was holding you even then. What if I told you that even now, blessings are forming beneath the surface? That while you've been surviving, I've been planting. That every struggle, every season of confusion, every tear has been watering something sacred in your soul. You see the brokenness, but I see the becoming. I know what is being born in you through this pain. You want it to end. I understand. But even more than an end, I want you to discover what can only be found in this place. A strength that is not your own. A peace that doesn't come from answers, but from presence. My presence. You often think blessings must look a certain way, big, bold, and immediate. But my blessings are often quiet, steady, and deeply personal. They are not always about fixing your situation. Sometimes they are about transforming your vision, teaching you to see what truly matters, inviting you to find treasure in unexpected places. The very place you are standing now, this place of discomfort, waiting, or sorrow, may become the sacred ground where your heart awakens to what can no longer be ignored. That I have always been with you, and I have always been enough. I'm not afraid of your doubts. I'm not threatened by your questions. I would rather have you come to me in honesty than stay silent in shame. Come as you are, uncertain, wounded, hopeful, afraid. Bring the full weight of your heart. I can carry it. I want to carry it. And in return, I will give you something the world cannot. Perspective, peace, and the ability to see blessings where others only see ashes. You may think you've missed your chance, that you're too far behind, too broken, too late. Let me tell you something you need to hear. I do not work on human timelines. I redeem time. I restore what was lost. I reopen doors that were slammed shut, and I rebuild what others said was beyond repair. You are not too late. You are right on time. My time. Do you remember when you were younger, when your heart dreamed more freely, when joy came easily and life felt full of promise? I remember. I placed that sense of wonder in you. And though the world may have dimmed it, though pain may have made it harder to dream, I have not let it die. I am reigniting it now, not with empty promises, but with holy assurance. You are not forgotten. You are not disqualified. You are being reshaped, refined, and readied for a life that will reflect the deep beauty born from endurance. Blessings come to those who stay open, who don't let bitterness win, who dare to hope again, even when nothing changes. You may not see the fruit yet, but the roots are growing. Your hope is not foolish. Your faith is not wasted. I see every quiet act of trust. The way you get out of bed when it would be easier to stay down. The way you keep showing up for people when your heart feels empty. The way you whisper, "Help me," in the dark. Those moments matter more than you know. They are laying the foundation for blessings that will not just visit you, but remain with you. I'm not asking you to pretend things are easy. I'm asking you to believe they're not meaningless. Nothing you've been through is wasted. I know how to weave even your hardest chapters into something beautiful. Not despite the pain, but through it. When you look back, you will not just see the storm. You will see how I carried you through it. You will remember the exact moment peace came when it shouldn't have. The smile that returned out of nowhere. The person who showed up unexpectedly. The decision you almost didn't make, but did, that changed everything. These are the fingerprints of blessings you didn't see coming, but I was sending them all along. And what about the miracle? Yes, it's still coming. It may not look how you pictured. It may not arrive when you planned, but it will come, because I am not done working in your life. My miracles are not limited to certain people or perfect conditions. They are available to hearts willing to believe, even in the dark, even now, especially now. So let the process do its work. Let hope rise again, slowly, steadily, as you trust that something good is growing. Don't rush the miracle. Don't force the blessing. Just stay close to me. Watch, wait, and know the best things often arrive when you least expect them. There is something sacred about the moments when everything feels like too much. Not because I desire your suffering, but because it's in those exact moments that your heart opens to me in a deeper way. When your strength ends, that's where mine begins to carry you. You may not always recognize it. It may not feel like light pouring in through the clouds. Sometimes it feels more like barely hanging on, like choosing to breathe again even when it hurts. And that, beloved, is holy ground. You may wonder why I allow pain at all, why life feels unfair, why others seem to have it easier, why things fall apart when you've prayed so hard. I see those questions rise in you. They do not offend me. In fact, they are proof of your hunger for meaning, your desire for justice, your longing for truth. And I promise you, none of that longing is in vain. But the answers you seek do not always come in the form of explanations. They come as invitations. I'm not calling you to understand everything. I'm calling you to walk with me through it. I know how it feels to be misunderstood, overlooked, underestimated. You have experienced rejection from people who were supposed to care, from opportunities that seemed perfect, from dreams you gave your whole heart to. But what if I told you that nothing good is ever truly lost in my hands? What if I told you that what looked like rejection was sometimes protection? That what you thought was a closed door was actually a redirection towards something better than you imagined? I am not the author of chaos, but I am the master of redemption. I don't waste detours. I fill them with meaning. Every no that confused you, every ending that broke your heart, I can use them all. And not just for comfort, but for transformation. I am not trying to return you to who you were before the storm. I am making you new. Faith and trust aren't just ideas. They are lived, one small step at a time. They are practiced in the ordinary, in the decision to keep going, in the courage to forgive again, in the willingness to believe that something better could still be ahead. It's not always a loud declaration. Sometimes it's a quiet yes in your heart. That's where miracles begin. Do you know how much power there is in still believing after what you've been through? That's not weakness. That's strength rooted in grace. That's you reflecting my image more than you know. Because even though life has hurt you, you're still open to healing. Even though people have failed you, you're still choosing to love. Even though you've cried alone, you're still reaching out. That is the kind of faith I cherish, not polished, but persistent. Not perfect, but honest. Blessings often come in unexpected shapes. They arrive when you're not looking for them. A message that speaks directly to what you needed. A shift in your perspective that changes everything. A quiet peace that rests over your heart like a warm blanket. These moments are not random. They are not luck. They are me, loving you through the storm. You felt like giving up more times than you've admitted, but you didn't, and that matters. Every time you chose to hope again, even for a moment, you partnered with me in ways you couldn't see. Heaven noticed. Your quiet victories matter in the spiritual realm. You are not invisible in your fight, and those dreams you think are too broken to ever live again, I haven't forgotten them. I remember the dreams you whispered late at night when you thought no one heard. I remember the joy that lit up your face when you dared to imagine something beautiful for your life. I remember, and I still care. Some of those dreams may return in new forms. Some may be replaced by something greater, but none of them are wasted. Every one of them has led you closer to your true self, the person I designed you to be. You are still becoming. You are not finished. Your best days are not behind you. They are unfolding. Even now, you may not feel it, but I am preparing you for blessings your heart will recognize when they come. And yes, they will come. Unexpected, yes, but unmistakable. So open your hands again, loosen the grip on what you thought it had to be. Let go of the timelines you built. Trust that what's meant for you is not in the past. It's ahead, waiting to meet you as you move forward in faith. I know that's not always easy. I know your heart has been let down before, but I'm not like the others. I keep my promises. I finish what I start. Let me carry what you can't. Let me fill your empty spaces. Let me show you that even here, even now, you are surrounded by grace. Keep breathing. Keep walking. You're closer than you think. You've been walking with quiet strength for longer than most realize. Smiling when you didn't feel like it. Giving when you felt empty. Standing when you didn't think you could. That, beloved, is not weakness. That's a soul aligned with courage. You may not have called it that, but I do. I've seen every hidden moment of faith, every act of kindness that cost you more than others will ever know, every time you chose to keep believing, even when you were breaking inside. These things are not invisible in my kingdom. They are seeds of miracles. I don't measure your worth by your performance. I measure your heart by your willingness to trust me in the unseen, and you have trusted me, even when it felt like all you had was a thread of hope. But here's what you may not realize yet. That thread has held more weight than you think. It's anchored in something stronger than circumstances. It's tied to my eternal faithfulness, and it will never snap under the weight of your struggle. You've wondered what faith really looks like. It's not always loud. It's not always confident. Sometimes it's just showing up. It's lifting your head one more time. It's whispering, "Help me," even when you don't know what you're asking for. It's the quiet choice to keep going, and that is more than enough. I do not need your strength. I offer you mine. What I need is your yes, your willingness to believe that I can turn ashes into beauty, mourning into joy, fear into freedom. This is where unexpected blessings begin to take root, not always in changed circumstances, but in changed hearts, in the softening of pride, in the deepening of compassion, in the surrender of what you thought life had to be. Sometimes, my greatest gifts arrive wrapped in things you didn't ask for. A delay that saved you. A disappointment that redirected you. A loss that stripped away everything unnecessary so that you could see clearly again. I know it doesn't feel like a gift at the time. I know it hurts. But I promise you, nothing is wasted. Not one moment of it. I have seen people rise from ashes before. I've watched lives reshaped by the very pain that tried to destroy them, and I am doing the same for you. Not in the same way, because you are not the same as anyone else, but in a way that fits you perfectly, that honors your journey, that redeems your wounds. I am not interested in quick fixes. I'm after full restoration. And here's the miracle many miss. It's not just about surviving. It's about becoming. Becoming someone who knows how to love deeper, live freer, trust wider. You are not going back to who you were. You are moving forward into someone more whole, more rooted, more alive than ever before. That's what this refining is about. You've waited, you've hoped. Sometimes you've questioned whether any of it mattered, but I assure you, your waiting has not been in vain. While you've waited, I've been working, preparing the way, lining up connections, healing places you didn't even know were wounded, softening hearts, including your own. You are not just passing time. You are being prepared. And what about the blessing? It will come. It may not look like what you imagined, but it will arrive in a way that makes sense to your soul. It may be the kind of peace you never thought possible, or a restored relationship you gave up on, or the strength to finally release what you've carried for too long. Sometimes the greatest blessings aren't additions, they're releases. Freedom from what once held you hostage. Look around. The signs are already there. The friend who checked in right when you needed it. The word that came at the exact moment your heart was breaking. The unexpected open door. The moment of laughter in the middle of sorrow. These are not small things, these are sacred signs, and more are coming. But I want you to know something even deeper. You are not loved more when blessings come. You are not loved less when they don't. My love for you is constant, steady, unchanging. The blessings are not a reward, they're marnine. They are the minder. A reminder that I am near, that I see you, that I know what you need often before you do, and that I will never leave you without hope. You were made to walk through fire and come out refined, not ruined. And that is exactly what's happening now. The world may not see it, you may not always feel it, but heaven sees, I see, and I celebrate every quiet victory, every choice to keep believing, every small act of trust. The next chapter is not just coming, it's already unfolding, slowly, purposefully, like the sun rising after a long night. It may start dim, but light always grows. Let it rise in you. Stay open, stay honest, stay with me. There's a moment in every journey where you face the quiet decision no one sees, the choice to either close your heart to protect it or open it to let light in again. And though it may not feel like it, you've already made that decision. You are here, you are listening, you are still hoping. And that is no small thing. In a world that tells you to stay guarded, to never risk disappointment, your decision to remain open, even a little, is an act of courage. Do you know how powerful that is? So many blessings go unnoticed because they arrive in ways that don't fit our expectations. You look for answers in the form of escape or ease, but sometimes my answers come as endurance, as strength to walk through the fire rather than around it. And while you may not celebrate that kind of blessing at first, you'll look back and see how it forged something deep within you, something unshakable. Because the truth is, peace doesn't come from a life without struggle. It comes from knowing that no matter the storm, you will not face it alone. You've grown used to disappointment. It's tried to become your lens, clouding every new day with old fears. But I am gently peeling that lens away. You weren't made to live always expecting things to go wrong. You were made to believe again, to see with spiritual eyes, to walk through this world not hardened, but whole. That's what I'm restoring in you. Your capacity to dream, your ability to trust, your gift of joy. You haven't lost these things forever. They've simply been buried under survival, but I am calling them forth again. Not because life will suddenly be easy, but because I am teaching you to see blessings even in the in-between. That's where the miracle truly lives, in the unseen, in the slow becoming. You may feel like your life has been on pause, like everyone else is moving forward while you are stuck. But my timing is not a punishment. It's a preparation. I care more about who you are becoming than how fast you get there. And what I'm building in you now, patience, compassion, resilience, will carry you farther than any shortcut ever could. The world rushes. I cultivate. And yes, I am still a God of miracles. Not just the kind that part sees or raise the dead, though I still do those too, but the kind that reshape hearts. The miracle of forgiveness where there was only bitterness. The miracle of laughter after years of silence. The miracle of courage when you thought fear had won. You are closer to a miracle than you know, not because you've done everything right, but because I've never stopped being with you. Unexpected blessings don't just change your circumstances, they change your understanding. They remind you that I am not limited by what you see, that I don't need ideal conditions to do something holy, that I can turn even the messiest moments into sacred ground. Look at your life again. Look closely. Where has healing already begun? What burdens feel a little lighter than before? What quiet shifts have you noticed? These are not random. They are the beginning. You are not being left behind. You are being led, gently, precisely, lovingly. Every delay, every closed door, every moment of confusion has been woven with care. I don't rush what I love, and I love you beyond words. You may not be where you hope to be by now, but can you trust that where you are is not the end? That something good is being written even here? You've made it through storms that tried to erase you. You've survived things that should have crushed you. And yet, here you are, still becoming, still breathing, still reaching. That alone is a testimony. Let your heart rest today in this truth. You are not missing your life. You are in it, and it is sacred. Right here, right now, even if it's messy, even if it's quiet, even if you don't understand it yet. This part counts too. So breathe. Receive what I'm giving you in this moment. Comfort, clarity, hope that defies logic. Let it settle in you. Let it reawaken the parts of you that stopped believing miracles were for people like you. They are. They always were. You don't have to force anything. Just stay open. Stay near. I will do what only I can do, in the most surprising ways. There are places in your heart you've kept guarded for a long time, corners marked by disappointment, areas shadowed by fear, memories wrapped in silent grief. And though others may not know those parts of you, I do. I see the weight you've carried, the things you've learned to live with, but never really healed from. You've grown strong in many ways, but in these hidden places, you still feel small, still wonder if anything good can come from what hurt you. Let me speak to those places now. Nothing in you is beyond my reach. Nothing in your story is unusable. I take the very things you wish had never happened, the losses, the betrayals, the failures, and I turn them into spaces where glory can shine. I am not intimidated by what's broken. I'm drawn to it. Because where there is pain, there is potential for my love to do something miraculous. You may not understand how, and that's okay. Understanding is not your burden. Trust is. And I know that trusting again feels risky. When you've been let down enough times, you start expecting it. You prepare yourself for disappointment just in case. But living like that, always waiting for the other shoe to drop, steals the joy right out of your hands. It tells you you're safer with a guarded heart. But I want to show you something different. You are safest when your heart is in my hands, open and soft, even if it trembles. That's where unexpected blessings come, not when you have it all figured out, but when you're willing to believe again, even a little. When you take the risk of expecting something good. When you say, maybe this time will be different. That's not naivete, that's faith. And faith always pleases my heart. I'm not asking you to pretend. I'm asking you to be honest with me, to tell me what hurts, to tell me what you've stopped praying for because it seemed too painful to hope. Bring me your silence. Bring me your numbness. I'm not put off by any of it. In fact, those are the very offerings I welcome. Because when you offer me your truth, I offer you mine. And my truth is this: you are deeply loved, fully known, and completely surrounded by my care. I am weaving things together even now. I am moving in ways you cannot yet see. And no, not everything will make sense. Not yet. But you will see enough to know you were never abandoned. You will witness just enough to realize you were never ignored. That the blessing didn't pass you by. It was simply waiting for the right moment to meet you where you needed it most. You're not a victim of randomness. You're under my care. And while life will always have its storms, there is a peace that exists not after the storm, but in it. That peace is me. That blessing, the one you thought you'd never experience, it's still on the way. Maybe not in the form you first imagined, but in a form your soul will recognize and welcome. Do you feel tired of waiting? I know. And yet you've made it this far. That means something. That means there's a strength inside you, one you don't always give yourself credit for. That means hope has survived all this time, even if only in whispers. And here's what I want you to know. I can work with a whisper. I can do miracles with mustard seed faith. I always have. There's no formula for how blessings arrive. Some will come through people. Some will come through opportunities. Some will come in quiet, unexpected ways that leave you breathless. Not because everything changed, but because you changed. And sometimes the greatest miracle is not the shift in your situation, but the healing in your soul. I'm not asking for perfection. I'm asking for partnership. Will you walk with me even when the road feels uncertain? Will you trust me with the parts of your story that still ache? Will you believe, even if just for a moment, that something good is possible again? That's where the miracle starts. I'm already moving. You don't have to earn it. You just have to stay open, stay willing, stay close to me. I'll take care of the rest. There is something I want you to hold on to now. Not because your life will suddenly become easy, but because your heart is ready to receive it. The assurance that you are not just surviving. You are rising. And not in some distant future. Now, even in the shadows of your uncertainty, light is growing. Even in your waiting, transformation is already happening. You may not have noticed it yet, but I have. I see the strength you've built in silence. I see the tenderness you've chosen when bitterness would have been easier. These are the signs of something sacred being formed. You've wondered what it means to live in purpose when life feels like a series of unanswered questions. You think that clarity must come before movement. But I tell you, movement is often what brings clarity. One faithful step, one act of kindness, one prayer breathed through tears. That's how purpose unfolds. Not as a grand reveal, but as a slow and faithful uncovering of who you truly are and who you've always been to me. You were created for more than just getting through. You were created to carry my light into dark places, even the ones you've been in yourself. That pain you've known. It wasn't the end of your story. It's becoming the place from which you speak life to others. You don't have to have all the answers. You just have to be willing to be real, to say, I've been there. And even here, God didn't leave me. Unexpected blessings are not just things I give to you, they're also things I grow in you. Compassion, patience, gentleness, bravery. These are not small. They are miracles in their own right, signs that my spirit is at work within you, changing what was hardened into something soft and strong. And here's what's even more beautiful. The blessings that grow within you will begin to overflow from you. You'll become the answer to someone else's prayer. You'll speak a word that lifts someone from despair without even realizing the weight of what you said. You'll carry peace into rooms that once held only fear, not because you're trying to be perfect, but because you've allowed yourself to be transformed by love. There is joy in this kind of becoming, a joy not dependent on how much you accomplish, but on how present you are to what I'm doing inside you. That's the miracle many miss, the internal resurrection that happens when you let go of control and begin to trust my rhythm instead of your own. I know you still face challenges. I know some nights you wonder if any of this truly matters, but let me assure you, it does. The small acts of faith you perform each day echo in ways you can't see yet. The seeds you're planting in quiet obedience will grow into blessings far beyond your own life. This is legacy. This is kingdom work. And it starts with hearts like yours, surrendered, willing, and full of holy hunger. Sometimes you ask for answers, and instead, I give you peace. Sometimes you want the door to open, and I invite you to rest in the hallway a little longer, not as punishment, but as preparation. I'm never withholding what is good from you. I'm shaping you to receive it fully. I know what kind of weight your soul can carry. I know when it's time. And when the blessing comes, and it will, you'll realize it was never really delayed. It was being refined, just like you. Do you see it now? The miracle is not just what happens to you, it's who you become in the waiting. It's how you keep your heart tender, how you keep choosing hope, how you let love lead when fear tries to hold you back. You're not the same person you were at the beginning of this journey, and that is something worth celebrating. You are more grounded, more discerning, more full of grace. And while the world may not see it, I do. Heaven does. And every step you've taken toward me, no matter how wobbly, has moved mountains in the spirit. I know you still have dreams you've tucked away, prayers you've stopped praying, and hopes that feel too fragile to speak aloud. Let me breathe life into them again. Let me show you that I am still the God of surprise endings, sudden turnarounds, and beauty from broken pieces. You are not forgotten. You are not behind. You are not lost. You are in process. You are being led. You are on holy ground. Keep going. There's more ahead than you can imagine. You didn't stumble into this moment by chance. You were led here. Every turn, every tear, every detour. I've been with you through it all, guiding you with hands you couldn't always see, and whispering words of hope you didn't always hear. But you heard just enough, you felt just enough. Enough to keep going, to keep seeking, to keep your heart cracked open, even when life gave you every reason to shut it down. That small spark inside you, that longing, that ache, that persistent sense that something more is possible, that's always been me. You don't have to wait for everything to fall perfectly into place to know you're blessed. Look again. You're still standing, still breathing, still believing. Those are miracles. Not every blessing arrives in a thunderstorm of glory. Some come like soft rain falling on dry ground, unnoticed at first, but life-giving in ways that change everything. I've been watering your soul through moments you thought were lifeless, and now, slowly, things are starting to grow. I know you've questioned my timing, wondered why answers came late or not at all, but beloved, I have never been careless with your story. My delays are not denials. They are divine pauses filled with purpose. I don't withhold out of cruelty. I prepare out of love, because what I have for you is not just for your comfort, it's for your calling, and I will not hand you something you're not yet ready to carry with joy. Do not mistake silence for absence. I've been speaking in a language deeper than words, through the unfolding of days, through unexpected kindness, through the strength you didn't know you had until you needed it. I am not done speaking. I am not done blessing. I am not done with you. There's a shift happening now. It's quiet, but real. Your spirit knows it. You've been walking through the valley, yes, but there is light ahead. It's not a fantasy. It's not wishful thinking. It's a promise. And I always keep my promises. You will see beauty where you once saw only ashes. You will feel joy in places where sorrow has lived too long. You will look at yourself and see not the wounds, but the healing. Not the lack, but the fullness. Because I have been rewriting the narrative of your life, not erasing the pain, but redeeming it. You may still carry some of the old weight. That's okay. Healing is a process. But now, instead of shame, I'm placing honor. Instead of fear, courage. Instead of despair, deep hope. You've been a witness to your own transformation. And now, others will be too. Because the blessings I'm pouring into your life aren't meant to stop with you. They're meant to flow through you. What you've endured will become your authority. What broke you will become what equips you. And the very things that tried to silence your voice will only make it stronger. You are not a victim of your story. You are a vessel of my glory. And nothing, absolutely nothing, will be wasted. So take heart. The waiting was not empty. The journey was not in vain. You've been walking straight into the blessing, even when it felt like wandering. And now the air is shifting, the wind is changing, and you're stepping into a new season. Not because the battle is over, but because you've been changed in the battle. Stronger, softer, wiser, more aware of me. This is the beginning of the fulfillment, not the end of your need, but the beginning of your deep, unshakable confidence that I am who I said I am, that I will do what I promised, that you are not forgotten, you're favored. So let go of the fear that nothing will change. Let go of the worry that you've missed it. Let go of the shame that says you're not enough. You are here, you are ready, you are mine. And the miracle it's already on the way. You've walked a long road to get here, through heartache and silence, through unanswered questions and quiet prayers. But now, stand still for a moment and take this in. You made it. Not because you had all the strength, but because you let me carry you when yours ran out. You may not have realized it, but with every step, you've been leaning into grace. And now, grace is what will carry you forward. The path behind you may be marked with pain, but the one ahead, it's marked with promise. No, it won't be without struggle. Life on this earth will always hold tension. But the difference now is what you carry inside you. Not just faith, but fire. Not just hope, but confidence. The kind that comes from knowing you've already seen my hand move, and it will move again. Blessings will continue to come, not because life has suddenly become perfect, but because you're now able to see what's always been true. I am with you. That awareness alone changes everything. It allows you to walk into each day not asking, will this be the day things finally get better? But instead declaring, this day is already good because God is in it with me. You've been waiting for miracles to fall from the sky, but now you know they rise from the ground beneath your feet, from the places where your faith took root in tears and trust. Every breakthrough, every opportunity, every answered prayer that's coming is being built on the foundation of your endurance. You may not realize how much you've grown, but I do. and others will too. They'll see the strength in your smile, the peace in your presence, the resilience in your words. You won't even have to explain. Your life will speak for itself. What's next? Keep walking, keep loving, keep your hands open and your eyes lifted. Don't search for perfection. Look for purpose. Don't chase what others have. Trust what I'm building just for you. And don't be afraid to bless others as you've been blessed. Your story, every jagged edge and every soft moment, is sacred. It was never just about your healing. It was always about making you a healing presence in a hurting world. The blessings will keep coming. Some will be loud and undeniable. Others will be quiet and hidden in everyday moments, in a conversation, a sunrise, a deep breath, a sudden peace. And the miracles, they'll find you in the most ordinary days, because they are already woven into the fabric of your life. You are living a miracle, becoming one, even now. So remember this, beloved. I never left. I never forgot. I never stopped working behind the scenes, and I never will. My love for you is not based on your performance or your perfection. It is anchored in who I am, and I do not change. You are blessed, not just because of what's coming, but because of who you're becoming. You are a walking testimony, a carrier of peace, a reflection of my heart, and your story is far from over. In fact, some of the most beautiful pages are still to be written. Step forward in faith. Speak life. Shine light. Expect the unexpected. Live like the miracle you are. Amen. Now share this message with someone who needs to remember that I'm still in the business of blessing, healing, restoring, and surprising my children, even in the darkest hour. Let them know, when hope finds you, everything begins to change.